Everyone in the capital knows how much I love the current Grand Tutor, yet he would rather become a monk than even look at me. Later, I married a man from the borderlands. He crossed the desert to find me, kneeling at my door. He cried and begged me, "Akai, come with me." My husband came out and asked, "Who is he?" I laughed and shook my head. "I don't know him either. I suppose he's just a passerby." There are rumors in the capital that the late wife of the Grand Tutor has returned from the dead. When I heard this news, I was in the palace enjoying a family banquet with His Majesty. An envoy from the country of ruin was sitting nearby, observing me as if appraising a commodity. They call it a family banquet, but it is merely an opportunity for people to inspect the goods. While there is merriment and dancing at the banquet, the whispers of the maidservants in the distance reach my ears clearly. As I stepped out of the palace gates, the servants had prepared a carriage for me. I looked up at the sky and whispered, "Let's go to the residence of the Grand Tutor." When I arrived at the Grand Tutor's residence, I noticed that it was decorated with lanterns and festive decorations, bustling with activity. I sat in the carriage and waited. Before long, the person who went in to announce my arrival came out. Lu Han is still wearing that white robe, bowing to me in greeting. Behind him is a person, a woman with high-pinned cloud-like hair. She is dressed in a purple 7-layered silk and brocade robe, her delicate face flawless like white jade, as if it were made of condensed fat. She tugs at his sleeve, looking at me with innocence. "Are you the princess?" Lu Han quickly said. "Xiaoro doesn't understand the rules. I hope the princess can forgive her." I tilted my head. "So this is his beloved, Xiaoro. It sounds pleasant. I have followed him for 3 years, but he has never called my name. Princess, 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 this is everything I am to him. May I have the peace pendant I gave you back?" My question caught him off guard, and he furrowed his brows, pondering for a while before saying, "It should be in the residence. I will find it in a few days and have someone deliver it to the princess's mansion." I pinched my fingertips. I had given many things before, but this was the first time I asked for something back. Other items can be disregarded, but that peace pendant was obtained through my devout prayers at the Buddhist temple. The host said, "Sincerity and talent." I knelt on those stone steps for a whole day. I was sincere, and the jade pendant was also begged for. Why is it not effective? I looked at the woman behind him again. She shrank and whimpered uneasily. Lu Han patted her hand to comfort her, then turned to me and said, "Princess, if there is nothing else, please go back. I will return the jade pendant." I remember telling him how I obtained the jade pendant. I guess he never believed it. The Rulans have come to visit, and His Majesty intends to marry me off for a political alliance. Lu Han is the only person who can save me, but he has never believed in me. Lu Han, I am going to marry into the Rulans. I will ask you one last time. Are you willing to marry me? He was displeased by my words for a moment and whispered, "Princess, you jest. I am not worthy of a princess. Why would the princess lower her status? As for the matter of marrying into the Rulans, the princess is worrying too much. His Majesty only has one younger sister, so we will not make things difficult for the princess. There will definitely be another candidate for the political marriage. See, he never believes me." Lu Han really hates Shinchinka. The people behind him began to sob softly, as if extremely dissatisfied. Lu Han whispered to comfort her, "It's nothing. I will accompany you to see the painting later." Indeed, it is the affection and desire of a gentleman and his concubine. When she died, I could not compete with her. Now that she is alive, how can I compete with her again? However, the jade pendant must be returned. The abbot said that the object can ensure safety. The border is bitterly cold, and we must keep a thought. Send someone to retrieve it in a few days. Prime Minister, please find it earlier. After saying that, he ordered the people to leave and return to the mansion. The sound of carriage wheels could be heard, but the lights of the Grand Tutor's residence were too far away to see clearly. I could only vaguely make out the two figures walking together as they entered the residence. Grand Tutor Lu went to the Buddha temple again today. My maid told me this while I was trimming the flower branches. With a snap, the crabapple blossoms fell to the ground. Then let's go find him, even if he despises me. I will still fight for my place. After all, the desert is not a good place to go. When I arrived at the Buddhist temple, only a few scattered lights illuminated the way ahead. The abbot of the temple came out. "I have seen your highness, but I wonder why the princess has come here late at night and what brings you here." I lifted the curtain and whispered, "I don't want to trouble you, so please call Luang out." He hesitated for a moment. "It's already late at night. If the princess has something to discuss, why not come back tomorrow? The maid sneered. The Guangfu temple is quite prestigious, but even the princess can't enter. The host lowered his head and muttered to himself, Amipa. He also said that the poor monk did not mean this, but that the Buddhist temple never allowed female guests. I glanced at him, waved my hand, and with a swag sound, the guard showed his sword, shining coldly in the night. The Imperial Majesty stepped back in fright. Before he could say anything further, a figure appeared, moving gracefully and elegantly. His slender figure was dressed in a perfectly tailored moonlight-colored silk robe, creating a picturesque scene as he walked leisurely. Truly, he possessed an unparalleled charm. He nodded respectfully towards the Imperial Majesty. Your Majesty, are you startled? I'll apologize again the next day. I sat in the carriage, silently watching him. Step by step, he approached my carriage. The curtain fell. He sat opposite me, very close. How long did the Grand Tutor plan to avoid me if I didn't come? I spoke first. He lowered his head. Your servant, have no such intention. The hand warmer in my hand emitted warmth, but I still felt a bit chilly. Leaning against the window, I asked him, Why, Lulaine, do you refuse to look at me? The night is endless. His voice came deep and heavy. Minister, I have long had someone in my heart. Princess, please don't waste your time on me. Liao Huan, I have liked you for 3 years, while she is just a person from your past. Princess, he interrupted me. Please be respectful. I just looked at him. He was still the same as before, cold and self-possessed, as if nothing in this world could shake him. Luhan, I am going to marry someone else. He pondered for a moment. Princess, you should find someone who understands you. I turned my face away. My confidant, right? My confidant is right in front of me, but in his heart, there is always only that wife who has not yet entered the door.